Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Monday, December 9th, 2019, 3 p.m. Eastern. The continuing activity that everybody is either watching or experiencing, it gets a little challenging for some people to realize that if we participate in that show, it moves us off of center and balance within ourselves. The external authority, television, anything on there, the vibrational frequency, magazines, newspapers, all of it it's a deference. It causes distraction. And a reason that happens is because of the ego mind. And the ego mind pulls all of that in as thoughts, and it sends you the thoughts, and then you embrace the thoughts, and then you become embroiled or interactive with what's been happening and going on. So, we are susceptible to that type of exposure unless we are conscious enough to know that we will not engage it. It's different than television. I'm talking about television where you have cable, and I'm not talking. And you can use your television for like live streaming or educational material, whether it be movies or whatever. But the advertisements and the way they've structured the television is a frequency. Now, each of them send and receive, so they send out a vibration, a frequency to those watching. And then they pick up the conversations and everything from who's ever in front watching whatever the diversion is. You understand that every single aspect of this matrix has been designed to keep us from ourselves. And it's very well, like I said, it's very well engineered. It's not something that's a happenstance or haphazard. It's very finitely put together and structured. They know, for instance, the civilization's weaknesses, because they've actually manipulated the structure so that the civilization has a propensity towards or for the lack of or wanting and control and greed and power. And that's how it's ingrained in the civilization. Now, thankfully, we have ways to diffuse that. I've mentioned the Archon Buster, and it's good. So many people are ordering it. They're manufacturing as many more as they can because they don't have a production line. They don't do that. So we're going to have to be patient to get a hold of one. They've become scarce right now, but they won't be for long. We have to have, we take it upon ourselves to be, think for ourselves, lead ourselves, and guide ourselves to understand it is you, it is each and every one of us that determines our direction. And unfortunately for the majority of the civilization, they're not in tuned to the kingdom of God within them. They're not, is not aware of that. And like I said, a lot of them are fearful of that taking that step into that direction, because there's so much dogma that's been created in this matrix to make people believe that they're sinners, and that they, if they don't do this, this, and this, that they're going to burn eternally in the fires of the lower depths of existence. And that it's very well constructed. You got to admit that it's really played havoc with the civilization. And because we're aware of it, it is wonderful that we know and are aware that this goes on a continual basis. It's not something that is intermittent. It is consistent, always. So we move out of this, the matrix. We move out of it, the construct. And we move out of it by increasing our vibrational frequencies, by being more within and exploring the gods that we are. You see, it's not about outside. It never has been. That's the distraction. It is about us within ourselves. It is to find the kingdom of God within us. Once we've done that, then we expand upon it. And then we begin to literally elevate ourselves to a level of source creation, so that we are in direct communication with source creation. It doesn't mean, we're connected always. We're part of source. But we're not, if we're not consciously at that frequency to communicate with source creation, it is because we are too burdened with these incessant thoughts that come in, 24/7, that we grab them and create the reality. And you can see where it can become really mucked up for all of us, where we get too involved, too entrenched, too absorbed into these falsities, period. And we just get lost because there's so much of it. That's why, we talk about stilling the mind, understanding the ego mind, the subconscious mind, what they are. And I think everybody on this call understands what they are. And that's important, because knowledge is power. And evil is ignorance. That's the way it's always been. So when we gain the knowledge through experiencing and finding out things, we are in a different frequency. And those of us who are experiencing this, it's much different for us than it is for the others. And you may not see it or understand it to a certain extent, but it's different for us than it is for the others, because we're moving into a higher frequency, because we've chosen to. Say, you have to be able to choose. You're not forced into it. You choose it. So those who have chosen it are moving into it. So your frequencies are shifting, changing, because you chose to do that. And as that happens and you progress, you start to experiencing different things that are much more enlightening and uplifting. You view things from a whole different perspective. And it's no longer where the ego mind is banging on you and the subconscious mind is flooding you with past experiences, and the ego mind is constantly saying, not enough, not enough, not enough, not enough, not enough, not enough. It changes. You shift. If you're real clear and you're very careful, you can pick up on that. It doesn't make us any higher than the rest of our brothers and sisters who have not reached that. It just means that we've chosen to do so. They haven't. So you'll notice that you'll view things much differently, and I got a lot of letters from people that say that they have, and they are, are belief mechanisms from the ego mind and the thoughts that are directed through the heart mind, to the heart mind, that are embraced then and become reality. When you worry, when you stress, when you fear, you are embracing the ego mind thoughts, and you're creating reality. Understand that. When you worry, stress, and you fear, you are taking the thoughts from the ego mind and creating realities. And then what does this do? It blocks source flow. It blocks it from your awareness because you're in the lower frequency, because of those thoughts that you've embraced. We all do it. You know, it's not like we're exempt. And when we do that, a lot of the times we get so caught up in it that we feel like, you know, some people feel, oh, this dark cloud keeps following me around. No, it's a dark cloud, you. Because only you can direct, orchestrate, create for yourself. That's how powerful each and every one of us are. But yet we, in a lot of cases, don't comprehend that. So we don't identify with that. Oh, that's the ego mind. Oh, that's silly. Oh, that's, you know, fantasy. Blah, 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 blah. And it isn't. So when we become clear and we operate 24/7 from the heart mind and oversee the ego mind and subconscious, we're better equipped to monitor that which usually overtook us does no longer. So we choose to be deeply grateful for everything. We choose to love everything. And we choose to approach this life and enjoy this life from more of a childlike type of point of view, perspective. Too many of us are too serious in this life, too serious, too involved with it to the point where we don't enjoy it. We don't enjoy it. We're too busy being worried, stressed, and feared. Okay? We're too busy. We've gotten into the habit, which is easy to do because the ego mind has been controlling us for a very long time. But you can change it. Each and every single one of us can shift it and change it. But it's up to each and every one of us. It's not something that you can, you know, something or some external authority can force you to do. And when you really, really embrace this and understand it, your life takes on a whole different shine. Completely different. It's where you don't judge. It's where your ego mind doesn't invade you and manipulate you. It's where you are soft to yourself, gentle and loving and kind. And you really follow your flow. So very few things, if anything, really disrupts you. You take it in, you embrace it, and you're in joy and you're in gratitude that you experience it. Okay? Our ego mind can do really, really heavy-duty things to us. It can cause us to become irresponsible. It can cause us to not take on responsibility. It can cause us to shift. It can cause us to do things and say things that we don't follow through with, that we negate. in charge? When you're bothered by certain things. You're bothered by someone else, either through envy, anger, stress, disappointment, and you're bothered by that. Say, the ego mind hits the heart mind, and you get that emotion. So you become cynical, and you become angry, and you become confrontational. And then the thing just explodes out of control. You begin to conjure things up that don't exist concerning different situations. You begin to fold things out and create things that don't exist, that aren't even part of the whole story. And that's what a lot of us do this. You ever gone into a situation where you start supposizing, you start guessing, you start assuming, because you really don't know. But then the ego mind starts dictating all these thoughts. You start embracing these thoughts, and then they become realities. So before long, you think that you've figured out things of something that you don't know anything about. So you literally conjure or create the things that your ego mind has given you in thoughts only, and they're just thoughts. And you become convinced that you're right about something. And you don't think a minute that you're wrong. And this is where it's so important to go with the flow. See, when we start getting complicated with ourselves, and we start getting really entrenched in creating all of these different scenarios and happenings, and about 99% of the time we're wrong. But it affects us in a lot of different ways. Insecurity, through the ego, mind. We get insecure. Our confidence without ego is weak. And we do not support ourselves with deep eternal love. And the knowingness and confidence that we are the kingdom of God, that we are the God. And that's what happens. But when you look at it from the different perspective, is that you do know this, you do know your connection. It becomes a whole different understanding. So you go with the flow and you don't engage. See what I mean? You don't interact with it. You just go with the flow. And things, because of your confidence that you're the kingdom of God inside, and that you are the God, it works out wonderfully well. It's a total different experience than fighting and gouging upstream. See? That's what we do. We're not in the boat going down. We're not going with the current. We're fighting against the current. And that's toughy. You see salmon going upriver trying to spawn, and, they're so exhausted that they expire. It's not much different than the civilization of this planet. Always fighting. Have you ever felt that? Fighting upstream? Fighting against the current? You ever feel like it's just, you get to the point where you say, what's the use? That's why. Because you get so tired and so totally spent, and you feel like you've got nowhere. Have you ever felt that way? It's because you're fighting yourself. You're standing and blocking the flow of source creation. We all do it. And then you go, I give up type thing. Now, that's that picture, which the majority of people on this planet are in. Here's the other picture. You're in the boat, you follow the stream. Stream takes you. It's no effort. You just flow with it. You go with the flow of the water. And where it's going to take you, you don't know. But do you really care? It's the adventure. It's to the unknown. That's where it's at. That's where we find all the possibilities, all of the adventures, everything. Huge difference between the two. Huge. You can't say it enough to yourself. Go with the flow, John. Go with the flow, Mary. You talk to yourself. This is familiar. Here we go. I'm getting sucked into this, and I don't need to be. I can just go with the flow. I can flood everything and everyone with deep eternal love, and it will dissipate. It will literally vaporize, and it will. It will. You always know when your ego kicks in, your ego mind, is when you become flustered, irritated, aggressive, combative, where you have to prove something. Someone says something, and then you disagree, and you disagree, and you want to prove to them that you're right, and they're wrong. You know what? Doesn't matter who's right or wrong, because there is no right or wrong. It's just opinions and perspectives. And if you're going with the flow, and you're maneuvering that, you won't ever get engaged with it. You won't. You won't jump in it. If someone says to you, what do you think about that, Bill? You say, well, I've never really given it any thought. Okay? How do you feel about this, Bill? I really don't think about that. See, when you're happy with you and knowing who and what you are, a lot of that stuff doesn't affect you like it used to. You just don't, and it doesn't make you any higher than anybody else. It just, you have chosen to become aware. And this meditation is choose to become aware. You choose to become aware. No one else does. All right? If you abstain from embracing the thoughts that come from the ego mind, and you know which ones you can embrace and create, and you know which ones that aren't even worth doing that with, then you are choosing to be aware. So, if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, which I'm sure most of you are. And the first thing that we want to do is relax the body. It's important. People think they're relaxed, but I'll guarantee you they're not. They think they are, but they're not, because they do not have that intimate relationship with their physical body. So you relax the body by letting go of things that have been packed away for decades. You let them go permanently. Okay? You're not losing anything. You experience the experience, and you move on. That's what you do. The problem that most of us have is that we won't let go of those things. They have no bearing and no guidance for us in the now. You see? And that's how you move effortlessly and develop a very strong, nurturing, loving relationship with yourself. Choose to be aware. Relax the body. Let go. If you don't let go, and you've stored all of that past in your subconscious, you will continually live it over and over and over again for your entire stay in that body. And here's the kicker. Imagine if you used your attention and conscious in the now, that you used it. In the now. But if you continually pull from the past, you will live the past over and over and over again. And it is only up to you to move it. That's how you let go. You move into the now, only the now. So this is how you actually relax the body from head to toe, inside out. And as you're doing this, you move into the now. Everything happens in the now, the past, the present, and the future. What you're doing right now is creating your future. All right? Now, if you continually visit the past, you will end up creating your future that will almost be identical to your past. You will find yourself in similar situations. You will find yourself in similar experiences because you spent so much time going into the past and reminiscing it. See? We are about moving forward and generating creative source energy. We flow with source creation because we were created by source creation. The now stills the mind, the ego mind. It puts the subconscious and ego mind at rest. They take a break. And as you relax the body and let go, and you're in the now, we want to breathe. We want to breath in through the nose and breath out through the mouth. And as we breath in through the nose, we want to hold it 1001, 1002, 1003. We want to hold it 1001, 1002, 1003. And then we want to exhale. Now, for those of you who are new to this meditation, and this now, and this circle of light, the reason we hold our breath is it focuses us to be in the now. Only the now. Because the breath is the now. It cannot be anything else. So when we're discombobulated, we become stressed, pressured, confused. Try using your breath to focus you back into the now. Okay? Try using your breath to focus you back into the now. If you can't sleep at night, use your breath to ease your mind and ease your body so that you can rest. Now, we want to do this at least 6 times while I'm talking. And as we breath in divine positive energy. This is a continual full flow of frequency that is coming from source creation. Collective consciousness of this planet, universe, beyond. And the divine positive energy communicates with us through the heart-mind, through the kingdom of God to the heart-mind. Choose to be aware. Choose to be aware. Choose to be aware of who and what you are. Choose to be conscious. Choose to be in peace. You choose. And the root is to choose to be aware. Of your actions. Of your intents. Of your energies. Of your frequencies. If you're in love, the frequencies are high. If you are in Anger, your frequencies are low. You choose to be aware. Now, as you breath out, you're breathing out and breathing out. The challenge is the habit that many of us have embraced of being in the lower frequencies. They're subtle. There's different levels of low frequency. But again, we choose to be in the low frequencies. If you, when you're aware, you will not embrace the low frequencies. You will become on autopilot. As soon as those low frequencies start knocking at your door, you will move into great gratitude, and deep eternal love, joy, instead of the opposite of that. But that's the tug of war of the ego mind. That's how it operates. Now, we're in the heart mind, and we're merged with the kingdom of God. It is housed in each and every one of us, in these bodies. We have many friends. We have many brothers and sisters. And they're throughout existence. The archangels, cherubim, seraphim, archetypes, all of the angels, they all vibrate at a higher frequency. We don't see them often, but in time we will. They're all the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love. They're in peace and joy, tranquility and benevolence. And they are with us and have been from the beginning. And we are all together. And we're all love. The Ascended Masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda Jesus, El Morya, Abundantia, Bell, Thought, Hell. Their gods have ascended out of body. They're in God form. Our gods are in body. It's the difference between the two of us. They are no higher, mightier, or greater than any of us, or all of the family. And they have been assisting us for a very long time. And they're of the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love, because we are all in deep eternal love, the highest frequency. And we're joined, arm in arm, hand in hand. We form the circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth. Now, we literally encase the planet in a perfect divine field, and ourselves as well. This field is impenetrable because it is such a high frequency. It is deep eternal love. Golden white pink light of deep eternal love. The emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. The violet blue purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. The white fire, purple transmuting flame. The violet ray. All of these are part of all of us. And we literally are protected 24/7 always, because of the fact that low dark matter frequencies cannot even sustain presence in that high frequency. They cannot. They never have been able to. same with all life on this planet, in it, above it, and below it. So we all begin to levitate, to float up. We move outside the body and above the head. We have a constant flow of source creation energy, frequency, flowing through our entire existence, our physical form and our etheric form, our kingdom of God, the God. We float above it like a halo would float above the body. And we're immediately drawn to call upon the other creations of Source, our brothers and sisters. All of the light energy beings that are in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. All of those who are only of the highest, deepest, eternal love, from the highest, deepest, eternal love, can join us in this meditation, this now, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, stillness, peace, kindness, benevolence, tranquility, joy, generosity, humbleness. And they come in the gugaplexes. One gugaplex fills this universe. Several gugaplexes filling many universes, and they all come arm in arm, hand in hand. Their gods with our gods, our gods with their gods with our gods. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes, and we are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes, and we are all one. And we are all love. And our God light energy is absolutely everywhere. We call upon all of the inhabitants of inner Earth, hollow Earth, Agartha, beneath Earth, all of these civilizations, and only those who are of the highest, deepest eternal love, from the highest, deepest eternal love, can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, bliss, joy, happiness, kindness, benevolence, tranquility, generosity, humbleness. And they come in the billions, arm in arm, hand in hand. They join us in this now, this circle of light, and this meditation. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. And we are all one. And we are all love. And our God light energy is absolutely everywhere. We call upon the galactics, off-worlders, Pleiadians, Sirians, Andromedans, and many, many, many more. And only those who are of the highest, deepest eternal love, from the highest, deepest eternal love, can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They have been assisting us in our evolution, in our enlightenment, in our ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and slavery. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, bliss, joy, kindness, tranquility, benevolence, non-judgment, non-ego, stillness. And they come, arm in arm, hand in hand. They join us in this circle of light, in this meditation, in this now. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. we are of the highest of deepest gratitudes, and we're all one, and we're all love. And our God light energy is absolutely everywhere. We call upon our loved ones, those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime, and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. And only those who are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, stillness, peace, joy, happiness, bliss, tranquility, benevolence, generosity, humbleness. And they come. Arm in arm, hand in hand, they join us in this now, this meditation, in this circle of light. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest of deepest gratitudes. We are of the highest of deepest gratitudes. We are all one. And we are all love. And our God light energy is absolutely everywhere. We call upon all the light energy beings who have decided to be housed in the following forms on and above and below this planet. Only those who are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion and non-judgment, peace, joy, bliss, kindness, humbleness, generosity, tranquility, and benevolence. And they come in the trillions, arm in arm, hand in hand. They join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. And those who are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love are the only ones that will be with us. Their gods with our gods with theirs. The fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, the mermaids, the dolphin, the whale, the Pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, and many more in colors, shapes, sizes, of which we have never seen before. Their gods with our gods with theirs. And we are all one, and we are all love, and our God light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And we are all of us, together here in this meditation, who have joined, arm in arm, hand in hand. We are of the highest of deepest gratitudes. We look up and we see our meditative sphere. We created this sphere. It's that center circle. It holds all of our meditations in perpetual motion. The highest of high frequencies of deep eternal love. Pure source creation. Literally can be seen, heard, and felt through all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond and forever. It floods everything, saturates everything with source creation, deep eternal love. Feel it flood you, your physical body, inside and out, head to toe. Your God, your kingdom of God. We are in complete harmony. total peace, joy. We have no ego. We have no judgment. We have stillness. We are stillness. We choose to be aware, each and every one of us. We are always together. We are connected. All life, source creation, all atoms, all molecules. We can move freely, effortlessly. We can be one place or everywhere. This is the true nature of our civilization. This is who and what we are. We are source creation. We are the kingdom of God. We are the God. We look down upon the planet, Earth. We see all of our brothers and sisters, all life, on, in, above, and below. All things. Flooding, literally flooding and saturating all of our brothers and sisters, all life. To choose to be aware, to be in peace, joy, happiness, bliss, non-judging, non-ego. Moving effortlessly, going with the flow. I'll join you in meditation and I'll return to close us out. Choose to be aware. And it involves everything. To be at peace, to be in kindness, to be in love, to be in joy, to be in non-judgment, to be in full compassion, to be tranquil, to be benevolent, to be generous, to be humble. We choose that. We are in command of all of that. It is up to us on the direction. Bring that into your heart mind and review it. And your choice is to embrace it or to not. If you embrace it, it will literally change in the very now you're in completely. Take this for the rest of the day, into the evening and night. Take it with you into the following morning. We'll be back here November 10th, 2019.